Hello everybody, Isabella from Pride Tire here, and today we are looking at getting undressed and dressed in late 30s fashions. So basically 35, 38, 39, so very end of Romantic era, beginning of Victorian era. And because it's Scotland and it's December and it's quite cold, I was able to get these amazing antique pieces out. I was really glad to have that superb muff and a capelet entrusted to me. They are antique, so not really vintage, it's antique. They need quite a lot of work on them, so I had to recover most of the lining and the fringes of the muff. So I've restored them. This one also needed new lining, and they all only come out for special occasions, like today's filming. Apart from that, they live very securely in a place. And before anyone else says, this is about 200 years old and it's still going strong. So I think we should really use fur that is available to us at the moment without using plastics. And vintage fur and antiques are the best way to do it. If you have other views, that's your views, you have entitled to them. Right, I'm ready to entrust this one to look at. What I have underneath is a redingote in wool, again very thick broadcloth wool that doesn't fray, accumulates bits of pieces from my gloves apparently. And true to the late 13th styles, you already see quite a lot of gathering and playing with the fabric on sleeves. And on top of the sleeves, I'm going to remove it. With this capelet, you could actually put a belt over it. You can see quite a lot in the period illustrations. And I've got wool mittens, a little bit warmer than just normal gloves. So all of that going out. And you can see the decorative pleating on the sleeve, very much a feature in late 30s when the sleeves started getting more and more constrained, and the shoulders for the very plain sleeves of the 40s. There was an inspiration for that coat with a lot of oak cut out leaves and real oak caps, sort of toggles I would say, on silk ribbon. So it's a bead bound with silk thread and a organic acorn cup. So it closes with hooks and eyes and those little toggles and a belt. So this one would be worn either just like at the moment have a canazoo or chemisette or even a habit shirt and a nice quilted petticoat. And this one is again an original one that we got several years back and restored. It can close all the way up if necessary, and it also can be worn over another gown as well, provided the other gown has similar type of sleeve. If you have earlier 30 sleeves, you really have to sort of remove your sleeve padding and sort of push it inside these big sleeves. But it's a very comfortable and quite warm piece of clothing, and you can just wear it with the shawl if necessary. It's all lined with silk, and it's served me quite well for several years now. Now I'm going to go inside. We've had our walk. I'll possibly go and get into a day gown to do some reading in the library, and later on prepare for the ball in the evening. So I'll see you later on. So we're back inside in the room, so I'm just going to disrobe from that and put my day gown on, just to see if you can see some close-ups. Obviously women would have quite a wide array of options suitable for winter. So you'll have a redingote, you will have mantles, capes, pelerines, some lined, some unlined. I've got a big mantle going on at the moment, which is also quilted in silk. Not sure how silk could be useful for winter, but quilted silk, that's different. So let's undo all of that. That's it. So as you can see, all of that is nicely lined and under my cuffs. Big on time. And I'll need help him. And him. So that's just my beautiful petticoat, which I'm hoping you can see a little bit more, because could you make the lights go for a close-up? So at the moment it's quite dark. See how lovingly quilted it is. It can be worn on both sides, so we have more rustic side on one side and beautiful quilting at the bottom, because that's the bit that will be most likely shown, and a spare quilting with different silk. That's more deep pony silk, so lower quality doesn't show at the top. So I'm going to take that off. The usual undergarments will remain the same. I'm just going to start undoing it. It'll be corset. Nice hand woven and hand embroidered stockings, corded petticoat, normal petticoat, and the quilted petticoat. This petticoat can also be worn underneath the white one as well if you need more volume on your ones. So we're going to swap into a tartan gown, I think. So the day gown is on, possibly wrong chemise on, but it wouldn't really show much once I put my fichu on. And this one is actually more summer autumn dress, because it's cotton, but it's lined, so that provides quite a lot of insulation. And inside the house is surprisingly warm, actually. And suitably enough, we have Scottish plaid. The bodices at the time have maybe not a lot of variety in... Which way does it go? So it's about... Maybe not a lot of variety in the cut, but loads of variety in decoration and in the sleeves. So you've got the usual leg of mutton on your sleeve, but they really had a lot of different decoration on it as well for the evening, especially. The puff could be separate, puff could be in both places. For day, you are looking at long sleeves, really. You wouldn't be wearing short sleeves during the day. And I'm just struggling with the belt here. A very nice original little gold button. Right. I'm going to keep it as it is, because it's... So that will be my usual morning or day attire for being around in the house, with my little cap on and a variety of pelerines. The decoration of the bodice, I'm not sure if you can see here. Can we have some light lookers? It looks quite complex with the... It's just strips of bias cotton applied by hand onto the already cut bodice. This kind of decoration was very, very popular, and it could be achieved in several ways, either by doing a separate bertha or strips, or pleating the whole piece in one go. I'm exploring this kind of options quite a lot in my newest book, The Regency and Romantic Dressmaker. So I have lots of patterns and instructions there. It's out at the end of January, so keep your eyes peeled. And obviously a lot of pelerines, fichus, canazoos, which are sort of longer sets. And those were really the options that changed the look from day to day, because you could have the same gown, but you put a different pelerine or a different canazoo, a different collar. You put a different tablier, or the sort of apron-like stuff. to spice it up, because really you wouldn't have as much clothing as we have nowadays, and you would look for different varieties, and you would recycle stuff as well. So you try to find as many ways to spice up and differ the gown as possible from day to day, just to show that it's not really the same old thing you are wearing. But that's the back clothes at that time are mostly hook and bars, and hook and eyes, and they overlap, so it's quite easy to adjust it if necessary. Front has darts that could be let out and let in, so it was quite adjustable and very nice to wear a tie, really. If I'm on my own, I possibly will take my cap off. I can stay with it. Really, it didn't really matter depending what I'm doing. So if I'm just sitting and reading a book, that's just fine. If I'm possibly doing something in the kitchen or supervising, I will put an apron on to prevent staining. But that's a little bit. So I'm going to take it all off and prepare for the evening. Right. That we have. So I would have to change the chemise, mostly because it's too high up and I'll be showing off my shoulders. So my mate is going to undo things, and I will probably change my corset as well. And I'll have to change my belt, sorry. And I'll have to change my stockings from day ones to the evening ones. Day ones are too thick. So I'm now down to my chemise. Change the chemise for something better. I'll show you why in a second. I'm still in my day shoes and my day stockings. So I'm going to try to see if I can change them without changing my pantaloons. So these are absolutely lovely, made by Sally Pointer and embroidered by Tula, my friend, which you can see with nice, my favourite knitted garters. You will find the providers in the credits. So these are just amazing. They are my favourite stockings ever, I must say. And obviously they are a replica of an original pair from, I think, Met Museum. Let's take them off. I'll see if I can come close and give you a look of my stocking. Isn't that darling? Everyday thing, but so nice, so jolly. So I'm just putting some lighter sticky on that will go very well with my evening attire. And I should be able to put my pantaloon next. So obviously still wearing really long pantaloons. Oh, but this is done. And one. You have clocks on the stockings. So they will also be embroidered or woven into. Both options, I think, are suitable. And these two layers, the pantaloons, which are open, so they're just separate legs joined by a waistband. So it's very easy to go to the toilet carefully. And the chemise would be, and stockings would be the layers that are washed most often. And most of the other gowns you don't actually wash that much. The cotton gown here you would, because that's cotton, and with cotton very easy. Lots of other cottons, either cotton satins or organdies would be washed easily as well. But wool and silk, not so much. Next layer, I want these shoes. So that's my dancing slippers. They're from American Duchess, and I dyed them to match my gowns. I have quite a lot of green gowns. to the work. And let's put a corset on. I think you've seen it in some of the videos. Again, a replica from Undergarments Museum on that. I need to have a look. Forgot. The pattern for these, and let's have some land operator. They're heavily corded with front, with front basque in wood. And the pattern for these in the first Victorian dressmaker book. Got quite a drastic lighting on me that. And they're very comfortable stays. Not that different from Regency ones. They started to get a little bit more nipped waist, but not very much. And these ones feature fun lacing, which was an easy way to lace yourself into a corset. So let's try if it works. The problem with that is it needs to go for your head, which is an interesting proposition when you have so much hair stuck on top of it. But let's have a look. Maybe I should put a little cap on to make it easier. Let's put a cap on just to keep the hair in place. Very nice. Really? Right, let's squiggle through it. I might need assistance, or I might not.
The opposite of emerging from a chrysalis.
Okay, I think we can use that. I'm in. Oh my goodness. Right, the books have to go in. I think a respectable position. And the idea is to grab your ends somewhere. Find the ends. I can't find my ends. No. Oh yes, where's the other one? Okay, I found my ends. And you just push them. Okay, with this one maybe. Unlaced. Laced. Unlaced. Laced. Cool. Makes that in. And you just tie it from. So that was a very, very easy way of putting on a corset without extra help. So it's actually quite comfortable despite having a long basque. So it's quite a comfy corset to wear. Must have lost some of the boobage volume. It's slightly too big, but it will do. Now for early morning, I would probably just have my petticoats. So you can see they're standing here, they're quite starched still. So you've got your corded petticoat with layers and layers of cording. There were some of the designs you can make the cording in. So they're cords like the cords to layers. This one is still slightly wet from starting yesterday. They're not as well starched as Nicky's. I will put I think she has a tutorial for starching. So I'll put a link here if you want to have a go. And obviously starched petticoat with some pin tucks and lace. And you can put both of them at the same time or separately. Let's just do it separately first. It's pretty stiff. Step on. Shubo can need to ask Lucas to do it up for me.
Start.
And petticoat. Should be easier. You could have more petticoats, and very often you would. I usually have a couple of others, but this is just for the indoors and for dancing, so I'd rather have less weight on me when I'm scampering around doing a polka. Good. Possibly in the interim, from daily activities and evening activities, you would have a rest, in which case that would be a rest attire with your dressing gown on. And dressing gowns were quite famous at that point for being very comfortable, voluminous, warm, very often quilted, and just jolly good items. You see quite a few fashion plates showing it up. You can completely make it up, or you can wear it with a chemisette, or with a habit shirt, or with a canizou underneath. And a belt, so I'm going to belt somewhere yet. So go. So this here in Gargunnock is going to be my main lounging attire. Mostly because it's so nice, so cozy. So this is wool with silk facings, well, more than facing actually, silk lining, and all of it has been quilted as well, so it is really, really warm. The skirts are not quilted, just the bodice, mostly because I already have a lot of petticoats underneath. But this is going to be a really cozy garment. Yep, definitely some favourite garment, I suppose. You can wear it without a corset as well. Let's keep it cool. Late. A couple of things for the evening. You already have bustles, and you have tiny little bustles in Regency area as well, obviously, and you have skirt supports in Georgian. This is made according to a 1838, I suppose, the instruction. So it's just 2 layers of quite heavy padded and corded cloth, and that gives you a little bit more oomph in the hip area without the need for separate petticoats. You can still use things like these, just sort of pad at the back. You could have several flounced petticoat bustles. So bustles are very much the thing. One thing I need to change from the day gown to the evening one are my seat. Fastest. So that's what provides the volume for your thick sleeves. If necessary, you can tie them onto your stay straps, depending on the kind of gown you'll be wearing. If your gown is very low off the shoulders and the puff is contained with the thickness of the hand, no need for that. And all of that goes slow. This chemise also unbuttons. So if your neckline is very, very low, you can actually unbutton it completely. You still have your chemise on, it's necessary. You would not be wearing a stays or corset without one, but you can really showcase your shoulders without worrying that your chemise is sticking out. So we can button it back again. Done. And my gown is behind there. Again, this one is a gown I made last year, based on an original from Bath, I believe. It's silk tartan interlined with cotton organdy, and again the decoration with plaited strips, but this time the bird flap is just separate. So you actually, it's just floating, it's just attached at the shoulders and front, and the rest is floating, so it can be changed for something else if necessary. The sleeves are interlined with organ. This is quite stiff, but I'm still going to put my buffers in. There you go. Much better. So you didn't have to have a build-up puffers in every single gown, but you just swap them around, so you would just have one or two in different sizes to see which one fits best. This one is a little bit too big for me usually, but let's have a go. I'll find my sleeve somewhere there. And yes, I would have a maid, but again, we passed the Gretna Green looking for her, but there's no sign of her. So we're now in Scotland, we're still putting feelers if anyone has seen our maid at a load some time ago. Maybe she never made it to Gretna Green, I never know.
Shall I be your mate, darling?
Help.
So it
Help.
cut to me.
Let's get it's correct. Get it through. Getting there, I might need to unbutton my trimmings or not.
Right.
Very suitable flat for Scotland. Tiny little bows. As you can see, there's a little point coming out here, which shows a slight departure from the usual 30s gowns when you have just one belt and it's straight on. You do have occasionally picked dresses coming up a little bit earlier on. I will see if I can put a couple of fashion plates here. I think I have a couple of them from 1833, but that was quite rare. Whereas end of the 30s and 40s, you very much get that nice point here in front. The back here closes with hooks and bars again, and I have 2 rows of bars actually, so you can change the way the dress fits. It's a little bit too big. Let's put everything down. Up the shoulders. And that's your little gown. No belt is needed with the little piece here. And the important thing now is the hair and the jewellery, and I have several options here. Right, for hair, we have loads and loads of options. I mean, the late 20s and all 30s, the hair is absolutely bonkers, and I love it. It's just wild. And surprisingly enough, not all of it is your own hair. I mean, it can be if your own hair holds the curl quite a lot, and for longer periods of time, absolutely. But we do have evidence that hair pieces were used a lot, both the curly bits as well as the plaits and Apollo knots on the top, and lots of decoration. I mean, absolutely loads and loads and loads of possibilities. My own hair doesn't curl at all. One of the solutions would be to wear it sleek, which was also possible. I'll put a couple of photos here from the cast and from the fashion plates. But you can wear, as you can see here, I've got 2 sets of false curls and a set of braid here on my own hair. My own hair is not really long enough to go that much, and definitely not arms thick. Now, this kind of style was rather essential because all the hats are sitting on that. So that's really what's holding the hat together when you have it on. You can use hat pins, but if your hair is well done in the right position, it's not really necessary, which makes it quite nice. all the caps you see in the era definitely have this really big bang at the back for on your hair, and it stays this way. So for the evening, lots of decorations, lots of, you can wear berets, you can wear turbans, you can wear jewellery like that, for example. You can have a look if I can put it on, so you can have a jewellery like that. You can have a ferrule on top, which was a hand necklace, basically. Possibly one of the very few eras where they were a thing and not a fantasy. And these ones are from Orinello. Not sure how they attach it. They're attached together. Hold on. We'll take some photos later. I know they need pins. Okay. So I'll grab some pins in a second. So that's a very nice pearly one. That would go with that cotton.
So,
Another one, which is the singular pearly one. It's also quite cool. I must admit, I am really partial to my beret, the huge beret. This is amazing. I mean, look at the size of it. It's also boned. I mean, you can have things that are not boned, but this one has an artificial whalebone inside that holds the brim out, and it can be regulated for bigger or smaller version. And I just absolutely love it. I mean, isn't that cool? I'm not sure if I can actually fit into the shot with it, but it's great. That definitely provides a lot of oomph. I should have something on my neck as well, but I think I've misplaced it. It's all I need now. Some gloves, and I'm ready to dance the night away. Oh, go for dinner first. I won't be able to squeeze into the car as much with that. And let's get the gloves on. I'm ready. Yeah, the dress is a little bit too big, but badly. Thank you for watching.